Hi, my name is Kristen, and my practice is Well Balanced. I want to talk about today what happened in a Reiki session, which was just again so confirming to me on the power of the divine and the power of energy and how it presents itself in our lives. So I was working with a client who I've been working with for years, probably 4 years, and this particular client loves Reiki. It's very relaxing and healing to him. He feels like he always says this is like 100 counseling sessions in a row without having to say a word. And I think, great, that's awesome. So he quite often comes to me for kind of a reset. So this particular day, we were just doing the Reiki, and what I do is when I'm holding at the top of the head, the back of the head, I just breathe in. So I am like a clear vessel for God's energy to come through. That's what I ask for. That's what I believe. That's what I know. That's what I allow. So I breathe in God's love, and then I see it sending out through my heart energy through my clients. And all I do is breathe in, and what I do is I watch to where that energy gets stuck, if that makes any sense. So I'll start at their head, and I'll just breathe that breath in, and I'll feel it get stuck somewhere. And when it gets stuck somewhere, that's where I know there's an energy blockage or an issue of some sort. So with him, it was getting stuck in his prostate area. Like that energy was getting stuck. And I thought, well, and even though I have this crazy gift, I actually am very also cautious about scaring people or telling people anything that they are not ready to hear. And I'm always very much like, okay, God, is this the truth? Is there something that this needs to be dealt with this person? So every time I kept feeling that energy get stuck at his prostate. So I just pictured the light, God's love, in that area healing. So I just pictured it, and just the white light healing, God's love healing, asking for God to come through down and do the healing. So I went on with the session, and then I came back to the top of the head, and I do that energy work, and I go and I just present the breath through the body to see where the energy gets blocked. And for some reason it slowed down a little bit there, but it passed through. So I felt like whatever was blocking in that area got released through divine intervention. So after we were done, he sat up, and I said, I'm always very cautious to tell people things like this, but I feel like you have some issues in your prostate area. Have you had them checked out? And he's like, that's so funny that you said that. I just went yesterday for a whole workup because yes, I'm having some issues and my numbers are high, but they can't find anything. And I said, okay, so that's what I was seeing. I was seeing there's blockage in that area, but I also saw that the energy would pass through eventually. And if you watch any of my videos, the issues do lie in our tissues. Stuck energy can lie in our tissues in different areas, and it causes illness. And so for him, intuitively, I felt like first of all, he said the doctors cannot find anything. Even though my numbers are really high in my blood work, they can literally not find anything through MRIs or anything like that in my prostate area. And I said, okay, so what I'm getting intuitively and energetically is there is something that you're holding on to, or some sort of energy or something that you're not letting go of, and it's just collecting down in your gut area. I said, but through the Reiki, I felt like it was moving. So that's probably where the doctors can't find anything, because it's something that possibly is brewing there. I said, is this making sense? He goes, it's making total sense. He says, I know what I'm holding on to. I said, okay, you don't need to tell me. I'm just saying. So when we don't release things, when we hold on to someone else's energy or someone else's expectation, or we tell ourselves, this is going to happen or this is going to happen, and we get into fear, those energies get stuck in our body because the fascial tissue tightens up in the fear, and then all the toxins and the emotional energy cannot get through. There's a great book called Molecules of Emotion by Dr. Candace Pert, and she actually discovered that our stress hormone, our stress thoughts create a physical peptide in our body, a molecule. It literally creates a real molecule in our body. So it's when we worry, it's not like, oh, I'm just worrying, oh, it's just nothing. There are physiological changes that happen when we go into fear and lack of and not enough and trauma and things like that. Now, again, we're human, so we can't be like on cloud nine all the time. That's not how we're designed. So, but it's a good awareness that when we do get into that downward spiral of worrying, you really want to take a look at ways to pull yourself up and out into acceptance and up and out into letting those emotions release instead of shoving them down. So in particular, this man and I were talking about that. And he goes, I know what you're saying. And he goes, Kristen, wouldn't it be amazing if I didn't have to go to all these doctors and get poked and prodded and MRIs and all that stuff, if I could come to someone who would intuitively read me, give me some pointers on how to navigate my own health and navigate my own energy and letting go and releasing and possibly steering clear of any kind of issues physically that would arise from stuck energy. He goes, wouldn't that be a great world? And I said, well, wouldn't it be great? Yeah. I go, but why don't we just now trust that you are getting the message right now that there's something that you're holding on to, and you're holding on to deep into your gut area. And so why don't you start to do some letting go and relaxing meditation, some sort of journaling, anything you can do to try to move that energy out. And maybe you can avoid the very thing that the doctors are looking for. And maybe you don't have to be that person who does get prostate cancer. And he's like, yeah. He goes, I get it. I hear you, Kristen. That's great. And so that was just a beautiful story on how our stuck energy gets actually literally stuck. Like if I can feel it and see it, then it's real, right? I mean, it happens to me all the time. Like I can see things energetically that are happening in people's bodies. And so if we can all take a step back and look at how we are holding on to our trauma and our stress and how we are not letting it present itself in our lives, we will be that much closer to whole healing. Because when we can allow those emotions to come, breathe them out and feel them, acknowledge them and thank them, release them and say thank you, but they no longer serve me anymore, but honor them instead of shoving them down, can we walk into our wholeness? So it was a sweet little reminder today that energy is real. And when we don't process our energy, it will come out in some form or another when we don't process our emotions. So thank you and have a great day. And you can reach out to me anytime through my website, through my YouTube channel. My website is www.wellbalanced, all one word, wellbalancedbykristen.com. And you can reach out to me on my website. So if I can help any of you out there with any of your issues or anything that you're energetically working with, trying to release, I can do this remotely as well. So I'm here to serve. Thank you and have a great day.